Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Kassler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG. Here with an episode to talk to you about how I have upgraded my cable management and grounding system. For a long time, I brought all my antenna cables to the ground rod, and on the ground rod I had attached 6 alpha delta lightning arresters on a little plate that was made for them. One of the problems that I've had with that is that there are only 6, and oftentimes I have more antennas under test or that I want to compare. And the other problem is that where the ground rod is, the grass keeps growing. And it apparently grows especially fast because every time I go back there, I have about foot-high grass to pull out of the way so I can get to the ground rod. There's a guy in Utah by the name of Chris Perry, and his call sign is KF7P. And he runs a little company called KF7P MetalWerx. And one of the things that he makes is a junction box that you can mount on the side of your house. It's closed, waterproof. Your antenna cables come in the bottom and go to a series of lightning arresters, and then from there into the house. I talked to Chris at some length, just to understand what he was doing, and you can find all of that, including the box opening, in video Ask Dave number 996. Okay, so what we're going to do in this video is talk about installing it. So what is the problem? Well, I've got a bunch of pictures here. We'll show you the pictures a little at a time. What you see is a rat's nest behind my operating position. What we did was we pulled all the cables off of those lightning arresters on the ground rod, and then we installed the box. Now, here's a picture of the side of the house. The box is very professional looking. Note that I did have it installed by an electrician because I'm not real good at some of the mechanical stuff having to do with that. It's attached to its own ground rod and it's bonded to the other ground rods. Now, we created on the inside of the house. On the inside of the house, it's just a little ring about this big that the cables come in through. I got a rag stuffed in there to keep any cold air from entering the house. Okay, and so what we did was the electrician installed the box on the side of the house. Okay, and so we started rewiring that rat's nest I just showed you. We started it doing one by one. In this picture, what you see is my assistant's hand as he brings the first jumper cable in from the shack, from the radios, to the top of the new lightning arrestor. These are all Morgan arresters this time. The same guy that does Chris Perry, the same guy that does the boxes, also runs the Morgan lightning arrestor series, and so he put those in for me. There's a total of 10 arresters in there. So this is establishing the first one. This picture shows how that's installed and how the cable that it attaches to comes out the bottom of the box. Okay, and here we have another one going in where you see the wire coming in and the antenna going down. Picture 45 shows now 4 cables coming out of the house and attached to the lightning arresters. And so we've gotten things pretty much back to the way they were. Now, this is attached to a ground rod by a number 2 stranded copper wire. And that's much heftier than it needs to be, but it gives me a very good ground. And part of that is not just to satisfy the requirements for lightning, but also to really give it a good ground and let it operate properly. Okay, so what we have so far is the box is in and installed by a professional electrician, and we have several of the antennas run out to it, all the ones that I commonly use, out to there. And then we'll be bringing more experimental antennas in so that we can make the changes to those here in the shack rather than having to go outside in the snow and make the change out there. So this is a big boon. Now, where are these things available? They are available from www.kf7p.com. And Chris Perry is the guy who does it. He actually lives pretty close to my sister. So if you happen to go to his shop, wave as you go by to my sister. She's very close to where that shop is. The phone number is 801-810-8502. Lots of 8s and O's. 801-810-8502. And you can order there or you can order directly on the website. I would suggest that if you have an idea of what you want for junction box, you give them a call. These junction boxes are available in many different colors and in different styles and sizes. You can get a 2-inch hole into the house, a 3-inch hole into the house. You can have flat ground straps. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of things that you can do with this. They come in a variety of colors. Okay, they mount outside the house. They are waterproof to the degree that if the system is closed and the cables come up from the bottom, you shouldn't get too much water in there. I would recommend doing what I haven't done yet, but will do, is putting a bead of silicone across the back of the thing there so water doesn't get down between the wall and the box. Okay, now this is a pretty professional installation. I'm really proud of it. I've got 3 different types of lightning arresters. I've got the standard Morgan, which handle HF, and they block DC. Now I have some systems that require putting the DC on the line with bias T. So I got 3 more arresters that do DC pass. And then I have some arresters for UHF, VHF. So I've got plenty up there. Now, one of the last things I just added is something I've had up on the shelf here for a long time. I have a little MFJ diplexer that you can feed it with either VHF or UHF, and then it splits it into for the antenna for UHF and for the antenna for VHF. This is a relatively inexpensive little thing that you can get from MFJ. And so I have one cable running out to the box, and then in the box at the bottom I've got this little duplexer, and then going to my 2 different antennas. I've got a J-pole at the moment for VHF, and I've got a 10-element UHF beam, which is not very big, it's only about that long, attached to a mast just right outside the window. I'm pretty excited about this. The workmanship was outstanding, and Chris really understood what people are trying to do, what ham radio operators try to do. And he is used to working with the more difficult installations where you might have 5 or 6 coax cables coming into your house. Do I recommend this? Absolutely. So interspersed with this, we've put pictures so you can see what's going on. I'm very pleased with it and look forward to having it for as long as I have the house. It's kind of a permanent end state solution right there for the coaxes coming into the house. One of the reasons I had the electrician do it is because I was not confident about drilling a 3-inch hole in the wall all the way through into the shack, and then putting the right liner in there and so on and so forth. And the electrician took care of all of that. So there you have it. If you enjoy this channel, I would encourage you to subscribe to it. Click the bell icon for notifications. And don't forget that we have a live stream Thursday evenings at 6:45 p.m. Mountain Time, and that's a YouTube live stream. And we also get on the air a little bit and have a net during that non-monetized live stream. So there you have it. And there's some charts coming up after I say goodbye that talk about ways you can help support this channel, and we've got a nice list of all the patrons. And so I encourage you to take a look at that, and if you are a patron, make sure you're included in the appropriate list. So, until we next meet, 73.